President-elect Joe Biden making headway on his team, filling out top positions to tackle two of the nation's biggest challenges, the economy and COVID. Now, the latest name to emerge is Rochelle Walensky, an infectious disease specialist to run the CDC. He's also expected to nominate California Attorney General Xavier Becerra as his Health and Human Services Secretary, and Vivek Murthy, who is set to return to the role of Surgeon General, which is a job he held under President Barack Obama. So to put this all together for us, joining us from Washington, D.C. is Anna Edgerton, who covers all things Congress for Bloomberg News. Anna, great to speak with you again. I want to start with Becerra, which has gotten quite a lot of pushback. What does Biden's pick of Becerra tell us about his priorities, his healthcare priorities, especially as we get ready to roll out the COVID vaccine and ahead of a big surge in COVID cases?
Yeah, there's probably two priorities for Biden's Secretary of Health and Human Services, and that's distributing the vaccine, making sure that the government's response to the pandemic can pick up where the Trump administration has left off, and also defending the Affordable Care Act. And so in those two things, you have a pick of Xavier Becerra, the current Attorney General of California, that makes sense because he definitely has experience on the state level where he can work with states to help roll out the vaccine and make sure that they're getting what they need in order to distribute the vaccine quickly. And he also has a lot of experience in litigation defending the Affordable Care Act. So we see two very clear priorities from the Biden administration in this pick.
Won't that make Becerra a really hard sell during the confirmation hearings because of his role actively defending Obamacare?
Yeah, absolutely. We've already seen some pushback from Republicans. Senator Tom Cotton said that he plans to vote against Becerra because of Becerra's pro-choice stance in terms of abortion. So, we're not surprised to see this kind of pushback from Republicans. I don't think they're going to make it easy for Biden to confirm his cabinet. But, there is an expectation that Becerra will get a hearing, and we're still waiting to see what the balance of the Senate's going to be. Still waiting on those two runoff elections in Georgia to determine control of the Senate.
There was also a lot of pushback that Biden wasn't doing as much as he could have to make sure his picks were diverse enough. Will his pick of Becerra silence some of the critics?
Yeah, certainly. We had reported over the weekend that there was some concern from the Congressional Hispanic Caucus and the Congressional Black Caucus that Biden's inner circle is still mostly white men. But, you do see more diversity in some of the picks that were announced last week and this week. Certainly with Xavier Becerra, that name was welcomed by the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, given his Hispanic heritage.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the outgoing administration, because there are reports that the Attorney General, William Barr, could leave before the end of the year. What factors are weighing on that decision?
Yeah, the New York Times had reported that William Barr was considering stepping down before the end of the year, and the Justice Department has since responded to that article to say that that's not the case, which of course doesn't mean that it wasn't ever the case. But when you're looking at William Barr's performance in the Trump administration and what make him stick on for the rest of the year, he did come out, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, to say that he didn't see the kind of widespread fraud that President Trump said would have turned the election in his favor. So you see William Barr standing up to some of these more extravagant claims from the Trump administration and some of his outside allies, and that put him in kind of an interesting position because William Barr previously had really helped the Trump administration and been one of the most pro-president attorney generals in about half a century, really is supporting the president and his priorities, especially when it came to impeachment and some of the investigations surrounding that.
Yeah, he's been one of the most loyal cabinet members for the president. I also want to get an update from you on the stimulus plan, because last week there was definitely some momentum towards that bipartisan $900 billion proposal, and there was definitely coalescing around it, and it felt like people were saying things can get done. Where are we on that now?
There's a lot of hope that this is going to be the proposal that actually gets through. It's not quite ready yet. We were hoping that it was going to be ready in time for the spending deadline that needs to be passed by this Friday. So the government funding that we're currently operating under runs out on Friday, and there's a thought that maybe you could attach this coronavirus relief package to that. It's not going to be quite done in time. So on Wednesday, the House is going to vote on a short-term continuing resolution for just 1 week of government funding. So that kind of pushes the deadline back another week and gives congressional negotiators another week to try to reach an agreement. We're still looking at what the final level for state and local aid is going to be. That's something the Democrats have been pushing for, and what the final terms are going to be on liability protection for companies. That's what Republicans have really been looking for. So if they can iron out these final things, there's a good chance that it gets passed. We're still waiting to see where President Trump is. He hasn't really been focused on a stimulus package this week, but he did give some kind of indication that he would at least consider signing a bill if it gets through both chambers.
All right, so same old sticking points when it comes down to it. Anna, thank you so much. Anna Edgerton joining us from Washington.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quicktake now for insight in an instant.